Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Khan. In this video, I'm going to explain you about the basic procedure of conducting the audit. The short questions which may be asked in examination are regarding audit planning, audit program, audit notebook, audit working papers, branch auditor, special auditor. These are the topics I'm going to explain you in this video, because many times in examination these short questions will be asked on these topics. So before this, I have already uploaded the videos on the company auditor, appointment of company auditor, qualification, disqualification and qualities of an auditor, then remuneration, removal of auditor, rights and duties of auditor, liability, civil liability, criminal liability of auditor. All these things I have already uploaded in the past videos. So if you have not watched, I suggest you to go to the playlist of my channel, select the subject auditing, watch the initial videos. Definitely you will get a lot of command on the subject of auditing. You can excellently write an examination. Now, before starting this video, I expect my viewers to take a screenshot of these notes which I have written on the board. Jot down all the points so that it will be helpful to remember the points in examination. You can do excellently. Take a screenshot, then I'll explain all the points. Come on. Now I'll start with audit planning. The first topic is audit planning. So audit planning is defined as a systematic and continuous plan of action. So before conducting an audit, always it is better to make a plan called audit plan. So audit planning is a continuous, systematic and continuous plan of action which every auditor usually follow during the course of the audit. So during the course of the audit, he has to make a plan. So before starting the audit, it's a systematic and continuous plan of action. Usually every auditor will make before the conduct of the audit. In simple words, audit planning refers to the process of preparing in advance all the steps. So before the commencement of the audit, he has to make down the steps. What are the steps to be applied in order to smoothly conduct the audit? All the steps must be clear in sequential order. Then, as audit planning is prerequisite for effective and efficient conduct of the audit work. So every auditor will make audit planning so that the audit work should be effectively and efficiently conducted within the time frame. Then audit planning is required because it helps. Why this audit planning is required? The three purposes I have specified why audit planning is required. The first is equal distribution of tasks among the auditing staff. Auditor himself will not do all the activities of audit. He will appoint some audit clerks, audit staff. So this audit planning will help the auditing staff so that the different tasks will be assigned to different staff, auditing staff. First requisite. Second one is designing and developing deadline for completing the audit work. Audit work will not go forever. The auditor has to make a deadline by what time this audit work should be done. So if there is audit planning, then definitely audit work can be completed before the deadline. That is also one of the prerequisites. Third one, ensuring that sufficient time is provided for key areas of audit. See here, every task of audit is not key one, not important one. Some aspects are there where the auditor has to devote more time, where the auditor has to scrutinize in detail critical tasks. The auditor has to find out which are the areas which require special concentration in auditing. So these are the points which are required. So if we make audit planning, then definitely audit can be conducted before the deadline. The task of audit can be allocated among different auditing staff. And lastly, the key areas should not be ignored. Much concentration can be given on the key areas of audit. So this explanation is sufficient for writing in examination regarding audit planning. Next topic is audit program. At the commencement, this audit planning is a general one. Every audit. For any audit, we have to make the audit planning. But audit program is a specific program for conducting a particular audit. So prior to the commencement of the audit, a program has to be scheduled. So prior to the commencement of audit, the auditor needs to plan out the work for carrying out the audit. So before starting the work, he has to make a program. He has to list down what are the activities of audit we have to complete. What are the tasks of audit we have to finish? What is the time required to finish off each activity? Then an audit program is flexible plan procedure for examination. Mainly for successfully completing the audit work, audit program is needed. Audit program is needed for successfully completed. So in this audit program, we write down all the area of activity, all the time required for each activity. Audit program is an outline of our procedure to be followed in order to arrive at the opinion. Ultimately, the objective of auditing is to give opinion on the financial statements. To give the opinion on the financial statement, auditing is done. So this audit program will make easy to give the opinion. So if we make audit program, nothing will be left unturned. Everything will be covered. It will be easier for the auditor to give the report. An audit program is a listing of evidence gathering procedure considered necessary to satisfy specific practical audit objective. For every task, there is some objective. So how to conduct, how to complete, how to attain that objective, specific procedure is there. Example, watching the documents, verifying the documents. So what is the procedure? How to get the how to conduct the verification in order to give successfully the objective. So this is the audit program. It's the plan of action to be prepared before the commencement of the audit work, so that every point, every area of audit should be covered. Nothing should be left unturned. That is audit program. So I've completed audit planning and audit program. Now audit notebook. This is very important notebook of the auditor, because he will maintain audit notebook. From this audit notebook, he can be able to easily prepare the audit report. So what is this audit notebook? It's a register. Audit notebook refers to a notebook or register which is maintained by the auditor and in which he note down the important points during the course of audit. While conducting the audit, a number of points will arise. So what are the points that have arisen? What are the clarification which the auditor got from the client staff? All these things will be written in the audit notebook. So as the audit progresses, a number of points will arise. The auditor will ask these points will ask for clarification with the staff of the client. So whatever the clarification the client gives, that will be noted down in the audit notebook. The main reason for maintaining audit notebook is to record the vital information which required clarification or any other information which is useful in future. So what are the points which have arisen and what are the clarification which the auditor got from the staff, that will be noted down, because this will be very, very helpful in future when audit report is prepared, and also for the future audits, not only current year but also in the coming years audit also. This audit notebook will be a guide. Next, thus an audit notebook is a personal reference book which contains audit related queries, clarifications and so on. All these things are recorded in the audit notebook as a permanent evidence. The importance of audit notebook can be understood by following points. Already I told you audit notebook is very, very important to the auditor. So this importance will be revealed from these points. First, while preparing audit report, the auditor makes use of audit notebook. This is very, very important. When ultimately, finally, audit report is prepared by the auditor, he refers to the audit notebook. And according to the points, clarifications, all these things are written in the audit notebook. It will be easier for him to give the audit report. That is the importance. Second one, the audit notebook can act as good evidence if a charge of negligence is filed against the auditor. If a case of negligence is filed against the auditor, then auditor can bring this audit notebook as a proof, as a evidence that there is no negligence on the part of the auditor. So it's an evidence. Audit notebook is an evidence. Third one, the audit notebook helps the auditor to have a good idea of the amount of work performed by his associates. That means this audit notebook will specify who has completed which task of audit. So he can be able to know which area of audit was conducted, was done by whom. So the associates, the audit staff, the persons of audit staff who has done the audit work will be written in the audit notebook. Lastly, in future, the audit notebook can prove to be a guide in designing audit program. Not only this year, but also in the coming year. In the next year, the audit notebook will become a guide for preparing the audit program. So this is all about audit notebook. Now, audit working papers. Notebook is different from working papers. Working papers are the loose worksheets in which all the clarification points observed and what are the information we have seen, all these things will be written in the working papers. The audit working papers refer to notes or material or summaries or comments, etc., which auditor makes while conducting an audit. So while conducting an audit, a number of queries, comments, clarifications, all these things are observed, and these things will be written in loose papers. That is called working papers. And these papers usually include the important information related to accounting which are being audited. So what are the observations seen while conducting the audit work? That observations are recorded in working papers. The audit working papers are the written private material which the auditor prepares for each audit. They describe the accounting information which he receives from his client, the method of examination used, his conclusion, and the reasons thereof, and the financial statements. So what are the observations he have seen? What are the clarifications he got? What are the calculations he made? All these things are written in the loose papers, working papers. And these are private papers of the auditor, in which all observations, everything will be written. Therefore, the working papers act as a medium through which the auditor expresses accounting and technical knowledge, which is being used while conducting the audit work. So in this, all the calculations, everything will be recorded. That is audit working papers. The next topic is branch auditor. Sometimes a company will have branches in the same country or in other countries. Now the question will arise, who will audit the branch accounts? The law says the company auditor or any other qualified person can audit the branch accounts. Can audit the branch accounts. The rights and duties of the branch auditor are same as that of the company auditor. The company in general meeting has to appoint the branch auditor. That's it. Next, last one is special auditor. Sometimes the central government will appoint a special auditor for a specific period of time under certain circumstances. Not always. If certain circumstances arises, the central government has the power to appoint a special auditor for a specific period of time. So what are the circumstances in which a special auditor will be appointed by the central government? The first situation is when the company is not being managed. When a company is not being managed according to the provisions of Companies Act 2013. Here in India, all the companies must follow the provisions of Companies Act 2013. If a company does not follow the provisions of Companies Act 2013, then the central government will appoint a special auditor, may appoint a special auditor. Similarly, when the company is working, when the working of the company might cause damage or injury to the trade industry in which the company operates, if the central government thinks that this company is operating in such a way that it will damage or injure the other company is in the same trade or commerce. So if the company is doing some activity which is injurious to other companies in the same trade or industry, then the central government will appoint a special auditor to conduct the audit of that company. Lastly, when the company is in danger of becoming insolvent, if the central government thinks that this company is going to become insolvent, so before becoming insolvent, the central government may appoint an auditor to conduct a special audit. If this audit is not done, the company may become insolvent. That is the reason why a special auditor may be appointed. So in this video, I have explained you about the audit planning, audit program, audit notebook, audit working papers, branch auditor, and special auditor. So this video will be very much helpful because in examination, short question will be asked on these topics. Inshallah, the next topic on auditing, I will continue in the next video.